So starting with the trunk, again, very strong angularity, and then you can roll and move your brush around. You want to indicate a very old and ancient tree. And there are no real rules about how these appear in nature. All right, from here, I want to add a little bit more texture to the trunk, so I'm going to pull across horizontally just to create a little bit more feeling. You can wait and do this when your trunk is a little bit more dry, or you can do it as I'm doing now when it's rather wet. So I'm just pulling across, and you can see I'm getting that feeling of the roundness. You can go from the top, but you can also do from the bottom and come around this way, so you get that feeling of the whole trunk. If you want, you can add in a few knots here and there and sort of insinuate where the new branches start. And then reform your brush into a nice point. Make sure it's not too wet, because now we're going to do the new growth, which are the new branches stemming from these points. So again, these are fairly new, young little sapling little branches. They come out fairly arching, and it's from these, this is the main focus of the painting. You want to do a couple of these. Sometimes in the plum painting, painters will leave gaps in between their branches, the new growth, and this is so that they can put flowers inside. Okay, so let's try with an even drier brush now, making sure that your brush is in as nice a point as you can get it. And this is a very large brush for this process, but if you'd like to use a smaller brush, you're welcome to do that as well. And then here you're going to concentrate on putting in the small buds. It's sometimes useful to support your hand underneath, to use your pinky finger to steady against the paper. And again, remember that the plum blossoms are round. They're not anything other than round. You want a few little dots kind of connecting them. And you're just going to go in and make many of these in the painting. Some of them can be pointing downwards, some of them pointing upwards. You can put some of these little stamens with the little dots in there. And then let's just show you an example of an open blossom. So again, we've got a nice tight point, a little bit of black ink. Start with a dot in the center, just to ground you for the center of the flower, and then 5 rounded petals. Okay, we're doing the single blossom. From the outside in, it's a little counterintuitive, you come towards the center petal. And do that in a little succession. And then on the very outside, you add these little dots. Okay, this does take quite a little bit of control, so you want to practice this quite a lot before you go into a painting. So in a plum painting, you're going to have many, many, many more of the buds than you are of the open flower. So these are some of the principles of the plum.